Right now, we are still getting to the right place. I want us to become more consistent.
I feel there is still a lot of room for improvement. As soon as you're satisfied with your performance, you will not improve. We now brought in René as our coach, so we're trying to solve out these problems as soon as possible.
Feel like we're improving at least. Hopefully this will soon turn around and we'll start winning a lot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the European League of Legends Championship Series, coming to you live from our studios here in Cologne, Germany. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and along with Martin de Linger, as we continue our coverage of Week 6. Yesterday, we saw Alliance and SK Gaming further secure their first and second places at the top of the table.
And the games are going to be even more tense as the teams jockey for position in those standings, especially since there's only 5 weeks remaining of the summer split.
Yeah, it is slowly crawling closer to the championships. Let's see how we go. Before, of course, we get into today's matches, let's talk about the big news from yesterday, which was the introduction of the 4.10 patch to the European LCS. First up, something we noticed from the junglers. The Frozen Heart is now being picked up.
Yes, so attack speed reduction is a lot more popular now because we have all these AD carries who need to auto-attack a lot with Vintage and Blade the Ruin King. And of course, because the likes of Jax and Kayle are still being played. So we actually saw Cyanide, Diamond and Svensson all pick it up yesterday. It's not every game, but we will see it against these heavy attack speed comps.
And next, of course, is changes for the AD carries. No more Bloodthirster to begin with. Yep. It's Infinity Edge or the Blade of the Ruin King.
Simple as it is. I mean, Bloodthirster was changed. You can no longer stack it up to 100 AD like you could before. So it's not as good early game. Therefore, we see Infinity Edge. If you want to make sure you can get to this very late game point, as long as you can survive early on, you should be fine. Otherwise, if you want early mid game power, you go for Blade of the Ruin King.
And secondly, of course, or thirdly, I should say, really, the Stealth Bomber. No more. We didn't see him yesterday at all. Caitlyn seems to be back. And also the emergence of Ashe for the first time in 2014 in Europe.
So simply because both AD carries can build Infinity Edge as the first item, and as long as they get to the late game point, they will be very strong in the team fights. So teams are picking them up now, trying to survive to the late game points. And yeah, it is a bit surprising with Twitch not even being picked or banned yesterday, even though he's actually still very strong with Blade of Ruin King and Ghostblade.
And of course the top lane, well, Renekton is back, the Crocodile in that top lane in all 4 games yesterday.
So there's been some changes. First of all, Dragon is worth more early on, so we could see less lane swaps. Teleport, 40-second longer cooldown, which means, of course, you have to stay longer in your lane. And then lifesteal was reduced, which means champions like Renekton with built-in sustain are going to be stronger in these one-on-ones. So therefore, we will see more Renekton.
We should also not discount ability power champions, maybe making an emergence in that top lane. Of course, here are some more of the moments. Yesterday's games, you guys were sending us tweets on Twitter, of course, well, where else would it be, for hashtag LCS Bigs Plays. First up, of course, was from the Super Hot Crew versus Gambit game and featured some clutch Nami plays. This came from @LOL Objections, and he said not only the bubble, but the clutch Mikhail saves Mima from the Requiem in the first place. Kasing is a beast. And this, of course, was the third most talked about play. Take it down, Sophie tries to go in towards him. He gets himself the kill and the shutdown bonus, but he gets cleared out. Vampira jumps in, Cataclysm and flashes out. Requiem comes out, Mima not getting taken so low. But he gets away. The bubble and the heal from Kasing just about survives.
That is such a good bubble from Kasing, managing to prevent the rest of Gambit getting onto Mima.
We just have to say his Nami has been very good the few times we've seen it. I would, of course, have hit every single member of my bubble if it was me playing Nami. Still, though, our next one, it comes in here. And the next one, of course, as I just said, is going to be from Alliance versus Millennium. And it features some very fancy footwork from Curb. And it comes from @Cyranos. He's saying, Curb juked Froggen and the Observer. And this was your second most talked about LCS big play. But they won't be able to get an objective for it. Froggen on his bot lane.
Oh, that is dangerous news here. Froggen actually going to run with the Ghost. Pops the Destiny as well. Gold card will actually let down to the backside. Kurdo, I think, may go down. He dives in. Froggen's going to fall. And Froggen and our cameramen completely confused by that one.
Curb is a god.
I think he juked Joe as well. He completely
He
got
juked
him
everyone.
out.
I mean, the cool thing is he just waits for the gold card to be in the air, then he jumps back. He doesn't like just instantly do it, otherwise Froggen would probably have killed him.
There's a dog in the back of the studio who was howling at the pitch that Joe was reaching there. I've got to get it back. I get that reach myself. Of course, last but no means least, it was the incredible play from Froggen in that very same game. This came in from @RedArrow420 and said, it's not luck, it's destiny. With that fantastic ulti from Froggen, it's so well turned out. Hashtag LCS, big plays, massive play for him. This, of course, was your most talked about moment in the European LCS.
And there is the reveal. They're going to go actually over towards Nip, but he's close to the turret here. Will they be able to lock him up? Going under the tower. Cornex is actually going to go low. Finished off by the gold card. And now Froggen and Tab's going to focus towards Creatine. Have they got the damage? Solar Flare comes down. They do manage to get themselves the second. Can they have the third as well? They will now with a triple kill. It's a triple kill for Froggen.
Fantastic, fantastic stuff from Froggen once again, proving why they're the #1 team.
And also why he's Twisted Fate. First picked was so good in this game here and really helped Alliance win the game. Of course, we want to hear from you guys. Remember to send the big moments from today's matches our way by tweeting to them @LOLesports along with the hashtag LCSBigPlays.
So before we head into today's matches, let's take a quick look at the tables. As we mentioned earlier, Alliance are still the table toppers and the ones to beat. 11 wins and 2 losses. They are on an absolute tear right now. 2 games behind them is SK Gaming chasing hard with 9 wins and 4 losses.
Then we have Fnatic and Millennium in a tie for 3rd place with 7 and 6. And the Super Crew at 6 wins and 7 losses right behind them.
We're going to be starting today's matches off with Roccat versus Alliance. They're setting up on stage ready to go, and that will be followed by Millennium, who will face SK Gaming.
And after that, we have Fnatic versus the Super Hot Crew. Then Gambit Gaming takes on Copenhagen Wolves. And after our matches conclude, stay tuned for the European Challenger Series round of 10 play-ins.
Yeah, so 3 big matches coming up for that one. If you want more information about the teams, the players, videos, all past matches, and more, head over to LOLesports.com. You can find all of that and more, including today's schedules, where you can vote on the teams you think will win.
Just pick the team you think will come out ahead in each matchup, and we'll tally your choices before the games to see who you actually picked. And to find out how you can join us here in the Cologne studio to watch the LCS live, click on the tickets link at the top of the page.
And at the bottom of each of those pages, you'll find a link to the LOL Esports Twitter. And since we're at the halfway point, we'd like to tell us which teams will finish in the top 3 in the European LCS and why.
I guess saying Alliance and SK are the easy ones. Question is, who's going to get the 3rd spot?
Who is going to join them?
Fnatic or Millennium? Maybe. I can even see someone like Gambit come up here and actually take the spot in the end.
Well, at the end of today, that will be the halfway point, the 14 matches. Still a lot to play for.
True, very true. Of course, we want to hear your answers, so send them to us at LOLesports.com and use the hashtag LCS, and we'll check out the